Hold up, what's that? Oh, that's the sound of the price going up. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Brianna, aka Dollface PA. I can be found at Brianna Moore on every social media platform. That's Twitter and Instagram. And my email is down in the information box if you would like to reach out to me that way. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I love you. Thank you for your continued support. And we're going to jump right into today's topic. So I want to talk about something that not a lot of people talk about. And today we're going to be discussing knowing your worth. And of course, we should all know our worth as human beings, but specifically as a physician assistant, you should definitely know your worth. Physician assistants are in demand everywhere in the United States. That is part of the reason why many of us chose to go in this field. And so I think it's very important to make sure that when you do look for jobs and then ultimately accept the job, that the salary that you are accepting is fair. So my first tip for those of you who may be looking for your first job, fresh out of school, no experience as a physician assistant, the first thing you should be doing is looking up what physician assistants in that city with your amount of experience, which is no experience, working in that field, how much money they make. And that should be the standard for what you're willing to accept. Because I think that, and this is not in all cases, but sometimes companies will prey on the ignorance of new grads. And, you know, we're coming out of PA school, we're broke, we're poor, we're struggling. And it is very tempting to just take the first offer that you get because it's like, oh my gosh, that's more money than I've ever made before. But you don't want to sell yourself short, because in doing that research, you may find out that new grads working in your same field with no experience in the same city that you're working are actually making more than you. Now, this isn't to say that you shouldn't have a level of humility about yourself, because you absolutely should. Granted, you are a new grad and you are going into a field where you have never worked in it before. You've never worked as a physician assistant. So yes, you should expect to get paid less than PAs working your same job who have a considerable amount of experience. However, when comparing your salary to PAs working in the same field as you with no experience who are also new grads, you should not be making less than them. And I think that's why it is very important to discuss these things with your friends and your classmates. I know historically it's been a personal matter and people don't discuss salaries, but in 2022, I really think we need to stop that madness, because I know me and my 3 best friends from PA school, when we were looking for jobs, interviewing, trying to determine where we were going to accept, we were openly discussing how much are they offering you? How much are they offering you? How much are they offering you? Because if it's like, okay, 2 of my friends working in the same city, both going into the same field, none of us have experience. If one company is offering significantly more than the other without reason, you may want to continue your search. I'm saying all this to say, don't cut yourself short. We work so hard through PA school, and part of the reason we go into this field is because there is job security and because we are expecting a certain salary. Do not let them shortchange you $1 less than what you're worth. So my biggest advice would be research, research, research. You have to do your research, and do research on reputable platforms. I will put some links down in the comments below of where you can look. Go on Glassdoor, go on some of the other links that I will include down below to take a look at what you can expect to be making. Secondly, this is actually a wonderful question to ask in your job interview. Does your company offer market analysis raises? So what I'm going to tell you is that with the current economy the way it is, as we all know, inflation is going up every single year. Every single year, inflation is rising. So what does that mean? The cost of living is rising. Ordinary things in the store cost more today than they did a year ago. Gas is more expensive. Anything that you can purchase with your own money will be more expensive as time goes on because of inflation. And so any employer that you are considering working for should also be matching inflation with your salary. And so there's no reason why You've been working at a company for 4 or 5 years and you have not had a raise. Why? Everything else in life is more expensive, so why is my salary staying the same? And what I will tell you is excellent companies, including the one I work for, thank God, they do a market analysis every year. What is a market analysis? A market analysis raise is based on the market value for your position, your time in your position, i.e., how much experience you have in that position, and where you are within the market range. Where do you live? If you live in New York City, the cost of living is a lot higher than if you live somewhere down south. And so every year, my company does a market analysis and they look, what are PAs making in New York City with this much experience working in internal medicine hospitalists? And if we are making less, we get a raise to match what everyone else around us with our same amount of experience in our same field is making. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, because what it does is it keeps employers competitive. If they know that they are offering top of the line salaries within that city, within that field, their employees are a lot less likely to leave for salary reasons, because there's nowhere else we can go working in the same field with the same amount of experience and make more money. And so I think that is a very, very important attribute that you should look for in employers. And I think it's a very fair question. You can just politely say, does your company perform market analysis? And if so, are there raises and increases to wages based on what you guys find in those market analyses? If the answer is no, may not be the worst thing ever, but it also may prompt you to want to continue looking. And we may not get a raise every year, because sometimes they'll do the market analysis maybe next year and they'll see, oh, we are paying our employees what most of the employees in the city are getting paid that do their same work with their same amount of experience. But the moment that that changes and they do a market analysis, we will get a raise. And so that's something that you should always be keeping in mind when knowing your worth. PAs are very valuable, and anybody that works in medicine will tell you that in the same way that nurses are invaluable to the healthcare system, so are physician assistants. They're absolutely invaluable, and we got to know our worth. And another thing you can be inquisitive about is asking, does your company offer merit raises? Based on performance, do you have an opportunity to get a raise for that? Because we work very hard and we put a lot of dedication and heart and soul into our work, and there's an opportunity there for you to be paid for that acknowledgement of hard work as well. And so that would be another wonderful question. Does your company offer merit raises? And if the answer to both of these questions are no, it's not necessarily a deal breaker for that company. You really just have to ask yourself what matters to you the most. And obviously, it's not all about the money, but like, we're also not going to sit here and pretend like it's not about the money, because it's always about the money. It's not all about the money, but a part of it is about the money, and let's not even pretend like it's not. And so what we do is hard work, and we want to be compensated fairly and appropriately. And so these are just some tips that I wanted to leave with you guys. Thankfully, I have not run into these issues. I'm very, very happy with the way I'm compensated. But I do know people working in the field that have been working for companies for maybe 3-4 years, and they're like, we've never even discussed a raise. Like, it's crazy. And you know, it can kind of bring the morale down. Employees start to feel like they're not really appreciated. It's just like, wow, like, what about us? Like, where's the money? And money talks. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. As always, I'm always available. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Love y'all.